What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joey Work from Run Pure Bets. Figured, baseball playoffs start tomorrow. Early games at 2 o'clock. So figured we go with a playoff, a little preview here. I'm basically going to run through all the first round matchups, then give you some futures bets for possibly winning the AL and NL, and maybe even a World Series pick for myself. So let's just dig into these wild card series to start. Which teams I think have value in the series and per game basis. So I believe the American League is much more wide open with teams to win. Possibly 6 different teams could win the American League rather than if you go to the NL, it'll be about 4, maybe 5, probably like 3 or 4 is really in the NL. So the first series, 1 versus 8, Tampa Bay Rays versus Toronto Blue Jays. This is very interesting first round matchup as these two teams obviously have seen each other a lot being in the same division, and this is the only interdivision matchup of all the playoffs here. So they're very familiar with each other. Obviously, for the Rays, we got as a 1-2-3 rotation because again, this is only a 3-game series. The first series is only a 3-game series, and all the games are being played at the higher seeds home field. So all these games are going to be in Tampa. So it's Rays, Blue Jays. Game 1 for the Rays, they have Blake Snell going. Supposedly game 2, it's Tyler Glasnow and then Charlie Morton if they get to a third. So that means Snell and Glasnow are both lefties. The Blue Jays are top 10 in the league versus left-handed pitchers, so that could bide right for them. It looks like I'm seeing when I was doing my homework, it's looking like the Blue Jays are starting Matt Shoemaker game 1. I'm not really sure what that's about. I would think they would start Young Jun-Ryu, but it looks like Shoemaker starting, and then possibly he'll hand it over to Robbie Ray because Shoemaker has only pitched 3 innings since August 21st. So quite surprised that they have him in there. Maybe because nobody's seen him, maybe because the Rays haven't seen him. But I'm not really sure about the thinking there. So I guess it's Shoemaker. They go Shoemaker, Robbie Ray, who I'm not very high on, and then they go Rue for game 2. Obviously, they still have Tawana Walker for game 3 just in case. I think the Rays definitely have the edge when it comes to bullpen here. The Blue Jays bullpen is not very good. The Rays bullpen is almost best in the league. But give me the Blue Jays bats every day of the week over this Rays team. I know they still got a couple guys hurt. Joe Manchoy is still hurt for the Rays, and I'm pretty sure one other guy is hurt in their starting rotation. Their starting lineup. So, that could falter them, but they haven't never been a powerhouse team all year. So I definitely take the Blue Jays bats over them all day. But come playoff time, I personally think in playoff time, pitching is much more superior to batting. So I would take the pitching edge over it every day. These two teams played each other 10 times in the regular season. The Rays are 6-4 in the head-to-head matchup, but the Blue Jays have scored more runs total if you put all the runs together. They haven't played each other since late August. I think the last time they played each other was August 24th. Don't quote me on that, but that's somewhere around then. So they have been almost a month off since playing each other. I'm not taking the Rays here. I would lean, Blue Jays at plus 190 in places. Game 1 in these 3-game series, game 1 is huge. So, if the Blue Jays win game 1 and they got Rue to go game 2, they're in a really good position to win the series. Obviously, it's going to be tough to get a win off of Blake Snell, but he has been somewhat susceptible this year, and Glasnow for sure has been susceptible. Charlie Morton has not been himself this year. That's for damn sure. So, the Blue Jays young bats get it going here. I wouldn't be surprised to see an upset. I know no one's giving the Blue Jays a chance. Honestly, every expert, almost everybody is throwing the Blue Jays automatically out of here, but I'm not. I'm going to give the Blue Jays a chance. The Rays bats don't scare me. Obviously, they have the better pitching in all fronts, but anything could happen here in a 3-game series, that's for sure. And these two teams are very familiar with themselves, so I would like to take the plus money at plus 190 with the Blue Jays. It's not an official pick. I'm probably not going to bet it. That would be a lean for mine, but I'm definitely not taking a Rays in that series. So then the next one we got is 2 versus 7 in the American League, which is the Oakland Athletics is the 2 seed. Chicago White Sox are the 7 seed. This will be the first time these two teams played each other this year. The White Sox really struggled down the stretch. They lost 7 over the last 8 to drop. They were the division leader. They dropped out of the division by losing 7 of the last 8. And the Indians surpassed them, and now they dropped all the way down to a 7 seed. So now instead of having a home game, they have to travel to Oakland. I mean, not, they have to travel to Oakland, and now all 3 games are in Oakland. So their rotation, Giolito, beast. Then, we go to Dallas Keuchel. I'm not very high on him. And then it's either Dylan Cease or Renato Lopez if they get to a game 3 here. For the A's, they already said they're starting Jesus Luzardo game 1, Chris Bassett game 2. Game 3 is up in the air. It's probably either Mike Fiers or Frankie Montas. But it's kind of game 1 is very interesting as Luzardo's a lefty starting for Oakland. The White Sox are 14-0 versus lefty starters this year. So, I mean, if the White Sox lose game 1, I'd obviously be very surprised that they could win 2 games in a row with Keuchel and then either Cease or Lopez. So game 1 in this series is huge, as it is in this 3-game series. Game 1 is huge for every team. Obviously, Matt Chapman is out for Oakland because he got hurt. So the White Sox clearly have the edge with the bats. But the rotation and pen, I give the advantage to Oakland. Jake Dykman, Liam Hendricks to close out games is pretty damn scary. They have a pretty good pen in Oakland. If not, Tampa and them and the Yankees are probably 1, 2, 3 in pens. The Dodgers are very good as well. But, that's they have a really good pen. In this series, in a 3-game set, I'm seeing it lined minus 105 for both teams in most places. If you're forced my hand to make a pick in this series, I would take Oakland. I really think Oakland, I know a lot of people on the White Sox. A lot of people think, the White Sox, but the White Sox have really faltered down the stretch. And when it comes to push to shove, as I stated earlier, I will choose the better pitching over hitting in October. And Oakland has a clear edge there. I know they smack lefties, but it's the playoffs. I do assume they score some runs in game 1, and Giolito, if they win game 1, then it would be very interesting to take Oakland to win the series. If Oakland loses game 1, I will definitely be taking them to win the series afterwards at a nice juicy price. But that's my looks on that series. So we'll go to Houston, Minnesota, 3-6. Minnesota Twins, a 3 seed versus the Houston Astros, the 6 seed. I personally am all over the Twins here. They're playing this whole series at home. They have a clear advantage with the bats. Starting pitching, this will probably be both teams' downfall come round 2 if they make it there. But I definitely trust the Twins rotation a little better. Kenta Maeda is going game 1, Jose Barrios game 2, and maybe Michael Pineda game 3 if they get there. For Houston, they have Greinke game 1. I think it's undecided for game 2, but I would assume it's Lance McCullers. And then game 3 is either Framber Valdez and Christian Javier. Additionally, the Twins are 24-7 at home this year. They play every game, all 3 of these games, if they go 3 at home. The Astros have dropped 16 of the last 24. They can't hit for shit. If you look at their lineup and their batting average from this year compared to previous years, I mean, they cheated. No questions about it. All right. The Astros bullpen is also not very good. They're in the bottom 10 in almost all important bullpen stats. While the Twins, I think this may be the most clear-cut series out of all of them, maybe excluding the Dodgers, the Dodgers Milwaukee. I love the Twins in this series, especially if the Twins can get good performances from the starting pitchers. They are a team to be afraid of this October. Say they win this series, they'll be playing Oakland in the second series, and I think they beat Oakland as well because their bats are better than Oakland's. The rotation probably goes hand in hand. So, I think they'll go to, they'll definitely be in the AL Championship Series and could make a run to the World Series. I wouldn't be surprised, So I will be sprinkling on the Twins to win the AL at about plus 600 in places. I think they beat both the White Sox and A's if they get there. I definitely think they beat the Astros. I'm already on. I banged that right as they came out. I took the Twins series price over the Astros. That line has moved about 50 cents in my direction. at the price -170 right now. I probably still bet it, but I wouldn't bet it as heavy as I did when I got the opening price. But it is what it is. So next series I got in the AL, the last series is Cleveland, the Yankees. I'm a Yankee fan. This is probably the exact matchup I didn't want for the Yankees. In this 3-game set, they get game one is obviously so big. As I said, we got Bieber versus Cole, game one. Neither team can afford to lose with Bieber or Cole on the hill. That's for damn sure, So the Yankees lose with Bieber on the hill, then they got to face Carrasco and then either Plesac or Savali, game 2 and 3, if they get that far, with Tanaka starting game 2. And I don't even know who the Yankees will start game 3. J.A. Happ, Jordan Montgomery, the rookie Devi Garcia. Like it's up in the air. Big Maple is still hurt, so we're not going to him. So obviously the Yankees have a much better offense here. But as I stated multiple times, October baseball is won by the starting pitchers, in my opinion. The Indians in the bottom 10 in runs, batting average, and the worst team still in the playoffs alive in on-base percentage. So I definitely give the bullpen advantage to the Yankees as well. Aroldis Chapman, Zach Britton, Adam Octavino, Chad Green. Those are all. That's the Yankees. That's what I think the plan would be for game 2 and game 3. Get me 5 innings. Basically, Tanaka's only pitched 5 innings almost every start this year. Get me 5 innings. Then we'll go to Chad Green, Ottavino, Britton, Chapman for an inning each that game and get the game done. Even I wouldn't be surprised they pitched them on back-to-back. Obviously, we need a good start. They need a good start from Cole game 1 so they can pitch them in back-to-back the game after. But also, the Indians' bullpen numbers are very good too. I'm seeing a Yankees price at about -120 to win the series. But, I probably, rather than bet that, I'd rather bet the Yankees to win game 1 at -105 because I really think if the Yankees lose game 1, they obviously still have a chance to come back and win 2 games, but I think it's much slimmer, especially with their ace going, and who knows what's going to be the starting pitcher. The Yankees definitely have the better offense, as I stated, but I think the better bet, rather than take the Yankees to win the World Series, would be the Yankees to win game 1 at -105. You're getting a 15-cent extra juice, reduced fee that, so that would be my look. And then, so my 4 advancing here would be Tampa Bay, slight lean to Tampa Bay. Would not be surprised if the Blue Jays beat them. The Yankees is probably a homer pick here. I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland beat them. Twins, I'm clear cut on. And the A's, I'm probably second most clear cut on. So then it would be Yankees, Tampa Bay. That could go either way, but I'd probably lean Tampa if I'm not going to be a homer. And then the Twins, I definitely think the Twins beat the A's. So then we got Twins, Tampa. And as I stated earlier, I'm going to place the Twins to win the AL at about +600 as a play. So on to the National League. We got the 1-8 seed is the Dodgers versus Milwaukee. As I mentioned earlier, the NL really only has 3 or 4 teams have a chance here, rather than in the AL, I could see about 6 different teams winning the AL. So the NL has much different here. There's only about 3, maybe 4 teams that have a chance here. The Dodgers, the Brewers backdoored their way into the playoffs, and now they play the best team in baseball. No easy task for them. Excuse me. The Dodgers have scored 100 more runs than the Brewers this year. The Dodgers are second in on-base percentage. The Brewers are in the bottom 8. Christian Yelich, this is probably his most disappointing season in his career. All the numbers point to the Dodgers here, but obviously anything can happen in October. As for the rotations, it looks like Buehler starting game 1, Kershaw game 2. They haven't announced a starter for game 3 if they get that far, which probably doesn't happen. And it's either Dustin May or Julio Urias. And then for Milwaukee, I think it's Brandon Woodruff game 1. Corbin Burns, his availability is up in the air, so that definitely hurts him. Then they got either Adrian Hauser, Brett Anderson, or Josh Lindblom. Milwaukee, they finished in the top 5 in the National League in ERA in September, which is, improving, but they didn't play the Dodgers at all. They haven't faced the Dodgers at all year. Also, Milwaukee's defense is not a strength. They have the fewest defensive run stops in all of baseball, in all of the playoff teams. My mistake, in all of the playoff teams, not all of baseball. But I'm not going to lay the chalk for the for the Dodgers. I think they're minus 310, 300 in places. I'm not laying a minus 300 on a series price on the Dodgers here, but I'm also not going to take Milwaukee. So I'm off this. I think the clear-cut winner here is the Dodgers. So the next series would be 4 and 5 here is the Padres versus the Cardinals. The winner would play the Dodgers. I really like the Padres and their offense here. Obviously their starting rotation is pretty good too. I'm not really sure. I have to look into the availability of Mike Clevinger. I know his last start, he pitched 1 inning and they took him out. I need to check the availability, but it looks like Lamet is starting game 1 anyway, and then possibly either Clevinger, depending on his availability, and then Chris Paddock for game 2. For St. Louis, it looks like they're starting KBO star from last year, Kwon Young Kim, in game 1, and then either going to Jack Flaherty or Wainwright for game 2 and 3. The Cardinals don't hit for average. They have a very low on base percentage. This is, in my opinion, this is the Padres series to lose. It sucks that they got to play the Dodgers in round 2, especially because they played each other so many times this year and whatnot. And I wish, this was the NL championship series where it was Dodgers, San Diego, but the cards didn't fall that way. So that's what's going to happen here. But, the Padres offense is really scary with Tatis, Machado. Tommy Pham is I'm a big Tommy Pham guy. Just the way he attacks his at-bats. He takes pitches. He'll push the ball the opposite way if he has to. Will Myers is having a freaking – who would have thought Will Myers had this good a season, And then obviously Trent Grisham came out of nowhere playing really good. They added Mitch Moreland. So this team is good. This team is really good. I think they have no problem with St. Louis. St. Louis really can't hit other than Goldschmidt. I'm not really afraid of any of their batters, maybe Jajong, and that's it, So I think this is probably a cakewalk. They probably win in 2 games in this series, and they get to place the Dodgers in series 2, which is fun for them. But on to the next one. It is the next series is I got Chicago, Miami. So, this is quite interesting to me. The Cubs, the 3 seed, Miami, the 5 seed. Winner of this matchup will, I really think the winner of this matchup gets knocked out the next series no matter what. Marlins, probably Donnie Baseball probably is manager of the year. He surprised us all and brought this Marlins team to the playoffs. Obviously, they added Starlin Marte, which gives them a little boost. But he did get hit in the hand with a pitch recently. I think the last series he got hit with a pitch. So I'm not sure his availability. I bet he plays, but I'm not sure if he'll be fully healthy. Miami starters are pretty solid. It looks like Sandy Alcantara is starting game 1, and then they either have Sixto Sanchez or Pablo Lopez for game 2 and 3. They got a solid young core here. Sixto Sanchez, everyone's very high on him. And, rightfully so. He pitched really good other than 1 start this year. Especially with this Cubs team. They haven't seen any of these guys this year, especially Sixto Sanchez. So, the Cubs offense is in the bottom 10 in on-base percentage and batting average. The last 10 games, the Cubs scored more than 5 runs twice. That may not be enough. It may be because they're basically clinched a playoff spot. They didn't give it their all. They basically had their main guys in there. They only rested them maybe the last 1 or 2 games. So I really don't know the excuse there. But the rotation, Darvish, Kyle Hendricks, and then either John Lester in game 3, possibly Jose Quintana out of the pen. They might do a 1-1. Quintana might be out of the pen for every game. I'm not sure what they're going to do there, but Darvish has pitched really, really good. But it looks like Hendricks is starting game 1, and then Darvish game 2. So the bullpen advantage is clear-cut here, and it's obviously in the Cubs' favor. Although their ERA is nothing special, the Cubs' pen's advanced numbers are really good. So, and then if you go to Miami, in retrospect, Miami's bullpen is terrible in all advanced categories and almost all regular categories. ERA, they're in the top 5 worst in ERA, and all advanced categories really bad, their bullpen. So I would think Donna's going to try to get a couple extra innings out of the starters, and 3 times around versus the Cubs offense might not be good. The Cubs probably you could probably limit the Cubs if you only see the starter twice, especially with these young guys. So, I mean, I think both games, if they play two, or all three, will be low scoring. So I will be taking my chances with probably betting unders in this series. That'll be my look here. And I might take my chance on the Marlins at plus 180 to win the series. I'm really not sold on the Cubs. And I think even if the Cubs advance, they lose the next series. So I might take my chance on the Marlins. And then we got the last series, the 2-7, Atlanta Braves, Cincinnati Reds. Man, how about the Braves? They got to play the Reds as the 2 seed in a best of 3 with Trevor Bauer, Luis Castillo, and Sonny Gray. Man, that's not even fair. But the winner of this matchup will make it to the National League Championship Series. Mark my words. You can write this down, take a screenshot, cut this video, say it back to me if I'm wrong. But I'm really very confident in either Cincy or Atlanta beating the Cubs or Marlins and playing in the National League Championship Series. For Atlanta, it looks like their starting rotation is Max Fried in Game 1, and then possibly the rookie Ian Anderson Game 2, and Kyle Wright Game 3. So that's up in question mark. As I stated multiple times, I prefer starting pitching and pitching over bats come October. It's October. Atlanta has the clear edge in batting. Cincy has a clear edge in all pitching categories. So I gotta take Cincy. I mean, good pitching beats good hitting come October. Cincy bats, they need to have a little life. I mean, they had the worst average in baseball all year. Down the stretch, they did score 5 runs in 8 of their last 14. So that's a little bit improvement. The Braves have a really good pen as well. Top 5 in batting average against and a lot of major advanced categories. And Cincy has a good pen as well. They have obviously they added Archie Bradley before the trading deadline. So he's going to be the setup man to Raisel Iglesias. So their 1-2 punch for setup and closing is really good as well. So if they have a lead, they're fairly confident come 7, 8, 9 that they win the game. The lineup edge definitely, as I said, obviously is to the Braves. But if Cincy can limit it and win Game 1, I think they could win 1-2 with either, Castillo or Sonny Gray on the hill. I think they could win 1-2 versus Ian Anderson or Kyle Wright. I'll take my chances with Cincy. If Cincy wins Game 1, they're in very good shape to win this series. But even if, I could see a spot where Cincy loses Game 1 and Luis Castillo comes out and limits Atlanta to 3 runs, we'll say. That's even being nice. 3 runs. I think Cincy could score more than 3 off Ian Anderson, and Kyle Wright is nothing special. Sonny Gray or Kyle Wright in the winner take all, I'm taking Sonny Gray every day of the week. So Cincy is plus 150 in this series. That's a bet I'll be on. I'm definitely going to take Cincy plus 150 here. So now, to win the NL, I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to roll with Cincy again. You could get plus 1,400 on the Reds to win the National League. I think if the biggest step for them is winning the first series. If they beat Atlanta the first series, I really think they beat the Cubs or the Marlins in the second series, and then it's them against the Dodgers or the Padres. But in that series, I'll take my chances. If for some reason the Dodgers falter and don't make it there, obviously Cincy versus the Padres, I like my chances there as well. Cincy's bats just need to wake up a little bit, and I think they have a really good chance to at least go to the National League Championship Series, So that's where I'm at here. I made a couple future bets. I'm taking the Reds to win the National League. I'm taking in the AL, my play was Minnesota to win the American League. And then I have an official bet on the spreadsheet for Run Pure Bet subscribers. I have a series bet. It's already locked in. The price has already moved. I sent it out last night right as it came out. And I also have a first 5 for tomorrow's opening day of action. I have a first 5 action on there. I will be playing, I'll be putting out more plays during this whole playoffs. I've been fairly good during this whole baseball season. Even though it was a small sample size, only 60 games, we were definitely up in unit count. I think we should keep ride this into the playoffs. You have to pick and choose your spots, and that's what I've been doing all year. So I definitely feel confident, and we could win some money in this playoffs. Obviously, I'm excited for the playoffs, as everyone is. So I do have a little giveaway here. I'm not sure how many people are here, but either way, I'm going to give away Sauce Bay hot sauce. I'm going to give away to a random follower of the video or whatnot. Sauce Bay hot sauce right here. It's all you have to do is comment under my go to my Twitter, follow me at Joey Work, comment under my post for this video, and just comment who you think wins the National League and American League. That's all you have to do. I'll pick a random winner, say by the weekend's over, by Sunday, or even by Friday. Probably by Friday, I'll just pick a winner, and I'll just do it. I'll do a live, or I'll do a recorded randomizer, so it's all random. I'll videotape the whole thing, and I'll send you a little Sauce Bay hot sauce, low sodium, all natural, made with turmeric. Great. If you don't win the hot sauce, saucebay.com, use promo code JoeyWork, you get 10% off. It is what it is, But I feel like giving something away to you guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's make this baseball season, this end of the baseball season, profitable, the playoffs profitable. Obviously, follow me on Twitter at Joey Work. Got to follow Run Pure Bets on Twitter at Run Pure Bets. If you want to get in on this postseason baseball package, you get $20 a week. You can sign up for a week. After we win you back that $20 plus more, sign up for the full month. It's only $60 a month. RunPureBets.com. Make sure to hit the like button down low. That'll help me out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for sure. And that's all I got for you guys. I mean, I hope I'm really excited for this baseball, man. I've been tuned in on it all day, doing my homework for everything. I've seen all these guys put out their brackets and whatnot. And it's kind of funny, the different kind of brackets. I see a lot of people are taking the Marlins in the first series, which, it is what it is. But the Cubs aren't a team I'm really afraid of. And I see a lot of people picking against my Yankees. But, I could see them losing for sure as well. But as Corey said, Joey's been making us money all baseball season. Go support it. I appreciate that, Corey. Thanks to the chat for showing up. Corey Deerslayer, Drexley, Fathead, Jason Connell, Stephen Peterson, Kevin Grittis, Justice C. Appreciate you guys showing up. That about wraps it up. Good luck on all your bets for the postseason. Peace out. Joey, work out, baby.